Good evening, folks. Good evening, folks. It's your bro, Richie here. Tonight, tonight in this video, I'm back. I'm back with another Fast and Furious car video for all. And tonight in this video, I'll be talking about one of the most well-known and respected JDM tuner cars. So JDM cars this time we're doing. And yep, I showered and I even shaved. Might need a haircut one day, but I don't know when, but I'll see what I can do. Anyways, so tonight in this video, I'll be talking to y'all about the glorious car of all time. Tonight in this video, I'll be talking to y'all about the brilliant looking 2002 Nissan Skyline. Hold up. I'm back. Sorry. Tonight in this video, I'll be talking to you about the glorious. There we go. 2002 Nissan Skyline. One of my dream JDM tuner cars of all. One of my dream JDM tuner cars of all time. So tonight in this video, I'll be talking to you all about the 2002 Nissan Skyline 2002 Nissan Skyline GTR R34. So before I start, make sure you guys all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit the notification bell. And so hit the notification bell and hit all so you're alerted when I make brand new uploads. Okay, so without any further ado, wait. Bear with me for a second. There it is. Got it. Whoa. There we go. 5% left. Jeez. Okay, so tonight in this video, I'll be talking to you about the glorious 2002 Nissan Skyline GTR R34. So yeah, before I start, make sure you guys all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell. And hit all alerted of when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so without any further ado, let's begin. So the 2002 Nissan Skyline GTR R34. So 2002 Nissan Skyline GTR R34 from Fast 4 2009. The first movie part of the second trilogy. Tokyo Drift was the last film, a part of the first trilogy. And then after that, Fast 4 came along. The brand new Fast 4 movie came in 2009 as the brand new movie part of the second trilogy. So yeah, 2002 Nissan Skyline GTR R34 from Fast 4 2009. Here we go. So the O2 R34, so the O2 R34, so the O2 R34 GTR is a major. So the O2 R34 GTR is a major car driven by Paul Walker's character, God rest his soul, may rest in peace. Brian O'Connor in Fast 4 2009. Overviews next, so let's do it. So overviews next, so let's do it. So manufactured, so overviews next, so let's do it. So manufacturer was obviously so manufacturer was by NMC, Nissan Motor Company. The make was obviously Nissan. The models of Skyline R34, the models of Skyline R34 GTR. Production years from 2002. The last year the R34 was made, because after that they didn't do any more R34s, and then a couple of years later they had the new R34. A couple of years later they had the new R35. They had the new R35 GTR. Say R35 GTR, which was like the main Godzilla car, which was like the most powerful GTR variant of Nissan, technically. Back then, when that car was released, it had like over 480 horsepower. Then over the years, Nissan produced it with more power, similar looks to the previous R35s from different years. And the most powerful one was the Nismo GTR with over 600 plus horsepower. 600 horsepower. Pretty good. From a 3.8 liter VR38 DTT twin turbocharged V6 motor, which is pretty cool. Okay, so manufacturer is obviously by NMC, Nissan Motor Company. The make was obviously Nissan. Models of Skyline R34, Skyline R34 GTR. Production year was 2002, and the model status was discontinued, unfortunately. So it was released after the first movie came out and before the second movie was released for Fast and Furious. So production year is 2002. Model status was unfortunately discontinued. Body and chassis next. Body style is a two-door coupe. Pretty cool. Two-door coupe. Say a two-door coupe. Say a two-door coupe. Say a coupe. As for the motor, it has the glorious motor of all time. A 2.6 liter twin turbocharged. Say 2.6 liter 2.6 liter 2.6 liter so 2.6 liter twin turbocharged RB26 DTT inline 6 motor with a turbodynamics turbo, apparently transplanted from an R35 GTR. The note says that, but in reality, it didn't really have the power plant, the turbodynamics turbo kit into it. It just had a standard twin turbo kit, anyways. So it apparently says it was transplanted from an R35 GTR, but it's unlikely. But in the movie, it was kind of known. I don't know, but in reality, it didn't really have an R35. It didn't really have an R35. So it didn't really have an R35 motor into it. So, yeah. I don't know. So, as for body mods, the car had a Nismo body kit from the so Nismo S-Tune body kit. Parts from it, like front bumper, side skirts, rear bumper was left standard. And apparently, only for a few parts only for a few parts it had also the East Bear body kit. Um, as for specialty mods, the car had OMP racing, OMP. Well, it says OMP, but so technically, the car had OMP LAP 5-point harnesses with OMP Italy street tuning bucket seats with a Matt Sweeney designed custom roll cage. As for the wheels, there were 19 inch 19 inch 19 inch 19 inch raised Volk RE30 wheels with Continental Sport contact 2 tires. For suspension mods, the car had Nismo lowering springs, and the car was painted in Bayside blue. Said Bayside blue. So wheels were 19-inch raised Volk RE30s with Continental Sport contact 2 tires. Suspension mods, it had Nismo lowering springs. Apparently it says Kaizo Industries, but it was a company that they imported cars that were not federally legal to drive on the U.S. roads. But the method of trying to get away with it was to dismantle the cars, reinstall the parts, import them, and get them as kit cars, like registered. But it didn't really work that well. So suspension mods, it had Nismo lowering springs. It was painted in Bayside blue. Character infos next. Character infos next. The driver was obviously Brian O'Connor, played by Paul Walker. May rest in peace. The uses are both street racing and smuggling heroin across the Mexican border. Status was destroyed via gas explosion. It says diesel apparently, but it wasn't really a diesel. It was just gasoline. So it's just a gas explosion. So driver was Brian O'Connor, played by Paul Walker. May rest in peace. So driver was Brian O'Connor, played by Paul Walker. The uses were both street racing and smuggling heroin. Status was destroyed via a gas explosion. The film was obviously Fast 4, 2009, and similar cars to that was the 1999 R34, 1999 R34, R34 GTR from 2003's Too Fast Too Furious. So the O2 R34 GTR is a major car driven by Paul Walker's character Brian O'Connor in Fast 4 2009. Next up, history. So next up, history. History. Fast 4 2009. Here we go. So prior to going undercover. So undercover. Brian used the FBI database. So the FBI database to acquire a Bayside Blue 2002 Skyline R34 GTR and a pearlescent white Skyline R34 GTR from 1999 in order in order to use it in a street race. He used parts from the pearlescent white Skyline R34 GTR. uh, Impound number was 2206, which he crashed in the second movie, as well as from a red uh 07 R35 GTR. Number was code was 3418, and transplants them into the blue R34 GTR 2765. Then he installed a tracker given by then he installed a tracker given by an FBI agent in order to smuggle drugs. So in order to smuggle drugs across the Mexican border, across the border. And so across the Mexican border, he used the Skyline he used the Skyline to he used the Skyline he used the Skyline in the race against Dominic Toretto to win the favor of to play by Vin Diesel to win the favor to win the favor of John Ortiz's character, Ramon Campos, but technically it was Arturo Braga. Say Arturo Braga. So he used the Skyline in a race against Dom to win the favor of Arturo Braga. Brian used the Skyline. To smuggle drugs. To smuggle drugs. To smuggle drugs under the border from Mexico. Is destroyed along with a tracker when the NOS. So it's destroyed along with a tracker when the NOS tank in Dom's Chevelle SS exploded. Word of warning, NOS is not a explosion device. It's technically an oxidizer. So it doesn't combust, like it doesn't like explode. It's technically an oxidizer. I don't know if this is true, but I'm not sure if it explodes under combustion. I'm not too sure about this. Anyway, so then he installed a tracker given by an FBI agent in order to smuggle drugs. He used the Skyline in a race against Dominic Toretto to win the favor of Arturo Braga. Brian used the Skyline to smuggle drugs. So to smuggle drugs under the Mexican border, so under the border from Mexico, is destroyed along with a tracker when the NOS tank in Dom's Chevelle SS, so 1970 Chevelle SS, with the glorious 7.4 liter 454 V8 motor paired with a 4-speed manual. Pretty cool car. So it's destroyed along with a tracker when the NOS tank in Dom's Chevelle SS. So in Dom's Chevelle SS exploded, setting both cars on fire. The destruction of both cars along with a 08 Ford Mustang, Mustang GT Tijarda? I can't pronounce the name, but it's spelled TJAARDA 550R and an 03 Infiniti G35. So Infiniti G35 V35 which underneath was technically a 350Z, which they have like same engine technically, the VQ35DE 3.5 liter V6. Pretty cool motor with twin turbos or a single turbo. Perfect, turbocharged, perfect, perfect. Which allowed both Dom and Brian to escape both Phoenix. Both Phoenix Calderon, played by Laz Alonso. So played by Laz Alonso. So Laz Alonso. So Laz Alonso and Braga's henchman. Next up is specifications, and so next up, specifications. So the O2 R34 GTR used in the movie were built on the frames of 98 to 01 Skyline GTT models, which are similar body shells to the R34 GTR. The GTTs were rear-wheel drive and typically said not aspirated, so naturally aspirated, but in reality it was single turbocharged. using GTT models allowed picture car coordinator Dennis McCarthy's team to avoid the problem of removing the front drive shafts from the cars as they would. So removing the front drive shafts from the cars as they would with an R34 GTR. As a result, stunt drivers are allowed to perform long-standing burnout sequences in street races. For the film, the GTR build for the film didn't use either turbos or all-wheel drive. Well, apparently it did use turbochargers and all-wheel drive for the actual R34 GTR movie car, so the hero car, known as. So it was that the R34 GTR build from the movie didn't use turbos or all-wheel drive, but the hero car did. 6 Skylines were bought to use for the production. 6 Skylines were built. So six Skyline R34s were bought to use for the production of the film. Fiberglass replica shells. Fiberglass replica shells. Fiberglass replica shells of the R34 were mounted onto a dune buggy chassis for up close and off road sequences. In reality, when they were doing the film, one of them was with the dune buggy version. They used the flat four motor from a VW Bug, which is known as a Beetle, which they mounted in the rear, like a Porsche 911, which VW owns. So it was pretty useful for like the stunt cars, going down like those concrete stairs, wherever they were, and off-road sequences. Because if they use it with the actual R34, they would be completely screwed. So like completely screwed. They used an actual R34 GTR for this, but thank God it was just a fiberglass one. So luckily, the main cars, like the hero car, survived. So it's currently in Germany. It was once sold for like 1.37, well, over 1.4, less than 1.4 million dollars back then, which is not too bad. I'd say it's like the most expensive car from the Fast and Furious franchise ever sold, especially in an auction, I believe. The second most expensive car that I know was sold in an auction for like $550,000 was the stunt Supra that was used in the first movie. I don't know. So, anyways, so the fiberglass replica shells of the R34, fiberglass replica shells of the R34. So fiberglass replica shells um of the R34 were mounted onto a dune buggy. So mounted onto a dune buggy chassis for both up close and off road sequences. Of the 6 genuine Skylines used, three were sold as parts cars, 2 destroyed, and one saved for potential sequences. So for potential sequences, even though there's one GTR used in this movie, the GTR also had a few bits from the GTR also had a few bits from the East Bear GTT conversion body kits. So this GTR shared two body kits. So this GTR shared two body kits in the same movie. Some of the parts of the East Bear body kit was the rear bumper and side skirts, rear bumper side skirts, and some rear bumper side skirts, and a few other parts that were used from the East Bear GTT kit. Last up is trivia, and now I'm not gonna end it there. I got the performance parts I'm gonna do. So we got trivia. Although the skyline that Brian uses to get to 1327, so that's Rental House at the end of Fast 9, strongly resembles the skyline the skyline from the movie. He uses the 99 model instead of the L2 model. So normally there would be some performance like specifications, but apparently there are some kind of errors. But I'll explain to you what parts the car really had equipped. So for starters, the car just technically had a standard Getrack 6-speed manual, and along with that, the car even had the standard 2.6 liter 2.6 liter twin turbo RB26 DTT inline 6 motor. And I have also some sad news for y'all. For all you Need for Speed fans, the legendary Rivals video game from 2013 is officially going offline. So just bear this in mind. So bear this in mind that EA recently confirmed that the servers will be shutting down this year on October. So pretty much the servers are pretty much shut down. So on the 7th, for all platforms, but you're still able to access and play the game in offline mode with random players. Apparently, unfortunately for me, replaced by AI drivers. But it's only a matter of time until the next Need for Speed game is gonna also go offline, which is the 2015 version, which was technically an online game. So we had to play online. I tried to play it, but it didn't really work. So the entire game being unplayable because it's only an online only game. So pretty much that's how it's gonna go pretty much for the the franchise for gaming and all that. But I mean it is sad that it's happening, but we all remember this as one of the best games in the whole world after over like 12 years since Rivals was first released. 12 years, that's insane. It's brilliant, like honestly, it's just one of the best racing games of all time. So, for those who are wondering what performance parts the R34 actually did have equipped, I'll show you, because from the parts menu, there are some errors going on and whatnot, but, there's some errors happening with the system, but, well, I will, talk about what parts the car really had equipped. So, um... So, for many of you wondering what parts the car really had, so the car technically had just the standard, it really had just the standard 2.6 liter twin turbocharged RB26 TTT motor. It even had